This video provides clear and easy to apply steps to make your riffs groove. I will break down the theory, share examples, and show how small elements come together and become a song part. Let's go! And the rule number 1 is to use the offbeat repetition. Let's take a short guitar part as a starting point. Later we will develop it into a full riff. Here is the notation for this fragment. As you can see, it aligns with specific positions relative to the metronome beat. The idea of the offbeat repetition is to play the same part but shift its position in relation to the beat. You can apply this to an entire phrase or its smaller parts. Here I repeated a smaller part. Notice how a different note aligns with the metronome beat. This is where the predictable and unpredictable elements come together. At the same time, music shouldn't feel random. This brings us to the rule number 2, a rhythmic consistency. It's important to have small repeating parts. Also, it's important to have a simple repeating structure of the riff itself. This helps to keep the listener engaged. In my example, I repeat the starting fragment at the beginning of each new bar. Additionally, every bar follows a similar rhythmic structure. And that brings us to the rule number 3, use predictable variations. This works great for repeating parts, keeping the riff predictable, but at the same time more interesting. That's exactly what I do in the second half of each bar. Rule number 4 is super important. Use the space. Sometimes groove is more about what you don't play than what you do. Take a look, the breakdown is mostly created by removing some notes from the initial riff. Silence and space between the notes give this riff much more energy. Rule number 5 is to use dynamic and tonal contrast. You can combine soft and loud parts, incorporate pitch harmonics, upstrokes, downstrokes, and a variety of guitar techniques just to gain more contrast. That's what I do in the breakdown. Natural harmonics provide a contrast to the palm muted parts. Now let's take a look at the overall mix. First, we have the intro. Do you remember the initial phrase? I repeat it on every beat to help the listener get used to the constant repetition and build the anticipation for the upcoming changes. Next comes the riff and then the breakdown. Now let's listen to the full mix with drums and bass. Maybe you have noticed that in the second part of the riff the opening note is different. This happens because the underlying harmony changed. Every riff and melody has the underpinning chord progression. Here's a big secret. Harmony is also the way to make your music groove, and that's what I break down in my linked video. There I provide a step-by-step guide on how to build groove-based chord progressions even if you don't have extensive musical theory knowledge. It's a super powerful technique, don't miss it. Thanks for watching and see you soon.